Every day, in every interaction you have, you are being lied to. It might not be a malicious lie, it might be a polite lie. People smile when they are actually angry. They say yes when they really mean no. They act like your friend when deep down they feel envy or resentment. Most of us walk through life completely blind. We listen to words, but words are the easiest thing to fake. Words are curated, words are rehearsed, but there is a second language being spoken in every room you enter. It is a silent language that never lies. It is the language of the subconscious body. Psychology tells us that the vast majority of our communication is nonverbal. If you are only listening to what people say, you are missing more than half of the conversation. You are watching a movie with the screen turned off. Imagine if you could turn the screen on. Imagine if you could see what people are actually thinking just by observing them for a few seconds. Imagine knowing if a business partner is trying to cheat you, or if a date is genuinely attracted to you, or if a friend is hiding a secret. In this video, we are going to go deep. I will teach you 7 advanced psychological tricks to read anyone instantly. These are not just tips, they are tools of deduction. By the end of this video, you will stop being the confused person in the room. You will become the observer. But before we dive into the specific tricks, we need to establish the foundation. You need to understand why these tricks work. Inside your brain, there is a primitive section called the limbic system. This is the feeling brain. It is responsible for our survival. Unlike the neocortex, our thinking brain, the limbic system cannot lie. The modern human is an expert at lying with their words. You can stand in front of a crowd and say, "I am confident," while your heart is pounding out of your chest. Your words lie, but your biology tells the truth. When the limbic system feels uncomfortable or threatened, it triggers the famous freeze, flight, or fight response. In a modern social setting, we don't run away into the jungle. Instead, we exhibit subtle versions of these reactions. We freeze our posture, we block our eyes, we turn our feet away. These reactions happen in microseconds. They are called leakage. Our job today is simple. We are going to ignore the story people tell with their mouths. We are going to look for the leakage in their bodies. Let's begin with trick number 1, the truth of the feet. When we try to read someone, we usually look at their face. This is a mistake. We are taught from childhood to control our facial expressions, but nobody tells us to control our feet. Therefore, the feet are often the most honest part of the body. The feet operate on a primitive mechanism. They point where the mind wants to go. Next time you are in a conversation, stop looking at the eyes for a moment. Look down. If the person is standing in front of you and their torso is facing you, but their feet are pointed away, perhaps towards the door or towards another person, the truth is clear. The conversation is over. Their brain has already signaled exit. They are only staying there out of social politeness. This is a powerful tool in business and dating. If you approach a group of 2 people at a party, watch their feet. If they turn their heads to smile at you, but keep their feet fixed in place, creating a closed wall, you are interrupting. Do not stay. But if they move their feet to open up the circle, you are welcome. Remember, the face lies, the feet tell the truth. Trick number 2, establishing the baseline. This is the most critical rule of deduction, and it is where most beginners fail. If you see someone tapping their foot rapidly, you might think, "Aha, they're nervous." But wait, what if that person always taps their foot? If you judge them based on that single gesture, you will be wrong. To read someone accurately, you must first establish their baseline. The baseline is their normal behavior when they are calm. Observe them at the beginning of the meeting. How fast do they blink? How do they sit? This is their normal. Once you have the baseline, you stop looking for specific gestures. You look for the deviation. If a person who is usually loud suddenly becomes quiet when you ask a specific question, that is a red flag. If a person who usually sits perfectly still suddenly starts touching their neck, that is a red flag. Something has changed in their internal emotional state. Don't judge the gesture, judge the change. The change is where the truth hides. Trick number 3, pacifying behaviors. When the limbic system detects a threat, a difficult question, or a lie, it floods the body with stress chemicals. The brain needs to pacify itself. Think of a child sucking their thumb. Adults do the exact same thing, just in more socially acceptable ways. When a person feels threatened, they will touch their own body to release calming chemicals. Men, when stressed, will often touch their faces. They might rub their chin or rub the back of their neck. It is a subconscious way of protecting the vulnerable neck area. Women, when stressed, often touch the suprasternal notch, the little dip in the neck, or they might play with a necklace, twist a ring, or stroke their hair. This is extremely useful in negotiation. If you ask someone a difficult question and you immediately see their hand fly up to touch their neck, pay attention. Their brain is screaming, "I am uncomfortable," and their hand is trying to fix it. That gesture is a confession of stress. Trick number 4, the mirroring effect. Now let's look at the positive side. We are social animals. When we have rapport with someone, we subconsciously copy their physical behavior. It is a way of saying, "I am like you, I am safe." If you lean forward, do they lean forward? If yes, things are going very well. You have a deep connection. But the opposite is also true. If you are open and relaxed, leaning back, and they are closed, stiff, with arms crossed, there is a disconnect. They are subconsciously blocking you out. You can use this as a test. If you want to know if you have influenced someone, change your position intentionally. Shift in your chair. Wait 10 seconds. If they follow you, you are leading the interaction. If they don't, you need to work harder to build rapport. Trick number 5, eye blocking. Forget the myth that liars look away. In fact, skilled liars will often stare right into your eyes to prove they are honest. Instead of looking at direction, look for blocking. Humans have a natural reflex to protect their eyes from things they don't want to see. When we hear bad news or see something we dislike, we might rub our eyelids, cover our eyes with a hand, or simply close our eyes for a second too long. It is the brain's attempt to erase the reality in front of it. If you present a new project to your boss and he rubs his eyes or pinches the bridge of his nose before answering, he doesn't like the idea. If you tell a story to a friend and they squint or shield their eyes, they doubt what you are saying. It is a subtle but powerful sign of disagreement or disbelief. Trick number 6, lip compression. The mouth is very expressive. When we are confident, our lips are full. But when we feel stress or when we are holding back information, our lips disappear. We compress them into a thin line. This is called lip compression. It literally means, "I'm holding something in." You will often see this in politicians when they are asked a tough question, or in partners who are upset but say nothing is wrong. If you see the lips disappear, do not believe the words. There is a negative emotion or a secret being held back. Finally, trick number 7, the power of silence. This is not something you look for, this is something you do. Most people are terrified of silence. In a conversation, a pause feels like a threat. It creates pressure. You can use this. If you suspect someone is lying, do not ask another question. Simply look them in the eyes, keep your face calm, and remain silent. Wait. The pressure of that silence will trigger their anxiety. Their brain will panic. Usually they will start talking again, and in that nervous rambling, they will often reveal the truth they were trying to hide. Silence is a vacuum. It pulls the truth out. Reading people is not about manipulation, it is about understanding.
It is about seeing the reality behind the mask that everyone wears. When you see these signs, you shouldn't feel superior. You should feel empathy. You are seeing the human being beneath the performance. Go out there today. Observe the world. Look at the feet. Watch the hands. Listen to the silence. The world is speaking to you constantly. You just need to open your eyes and look. If you want to master your mind, understand human behavior, and control your reality, make sure to subscribe to the channel. I'll see you in the next video.